Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be doing another little update on the team, Season 37 itself. This is the third installment of this update series, and then just talking about my plans and why you've only really seen match highlights for the past couple weeks. So first things first, let's get into the actual season. If you don't know what I'm talking about, this is ESEA Season 37 of League. You compete on teams, you get to different divisions. I'm currently in the main division, and we had some things go down in the past week. So I'm recording this on Sunday, so probably around the 17th, 18th, I believe it actually was on the 17th, we had some team drama go down. So if we go to the team page, you can see we had 4 matches. We're currently 2-3. The match highlights, or technically the match lowlights for this nuke match where we lost 5-16, will be coming out either later today or tomorrow, maybe Tuesday. There's really nothing to look forward to on this one, but we had our first 4 matches, and we went 2-2 between them, and our set lineup. We had some mix-ups in the lineup just because we needed 2 players from the previous iteration of the roster for Season 36 to compete in the first 3 out of 4 matches. So Kaz is one of them, and then Nasal and who's the Soxy were the other people that would fill in for the 2. So we didn't have our set 5 of me, Michael, Gage, Kaz, and RTB for the first couple matches, but luckily we got it all sorted out. That's all done now. But so first match, I was brought onto the team to IGL. So I'm IGL. Michael is entry. Gage, who didn't play this game but was subbed by Nasal, is entry. Kaz is more of a support, and RTB is our main op. And so main op on Mirage getting 67 ADR, it's okay because, it's an opper, so oppers won't have the highest ADR, but he still went negative. We did win this game in overtime. Then we played Mirage again, and we ended up losing this game, and once again, the main op just bottom of the scoreboard. And I know scoreboard doesn't tell the whole story, but when going back and rewatching the demos and editing the highlight videos, there were whiffs, right? There wasn't really a lot of impact plays. Then we get our third match, where we actually had our normal set 5, and then in fourth match we reverted back to the people from last season, just so we could maintain the roster spot, right? And that was the last one. But this one we had our set 5. I ended up playing pretty well this game. I got 114 ADR, but once again, our main op just didn't really show up. And the first 3 matches were Mirage. Okay, now we get to Train, an opper's wet dream of a map. And again, we did have to revert back to a sub, so Soxy this time was subbing in for Michael. And so we would have had an improvement if we did play with Michael. No harsh things to Soxy, but Soxy doesn't really play the game anymore. Michael's playing every single day. So we did lose this 12-16. And once again, Opper just didn't show up. So Kaz, who's also, he's team leader, basically. It's his roster. Even though I'm IGL, he's team leader. Kaz and I got together, and we were talking about it, and we're saying, what should we do about RTB? Because he's just not performing in the way that we need him to at this level. And I will take some of the blame. I guess I was putting him in poor spots, or maybe not the best spots, but I was giving him a lot of free roam. I said, you can do whatever you want, blah, blah, blah. Just let me know, call it, communicate it so we can, put people with you. And so that's what Tyler and I talked about. We said, hey, we need to give him some sort of heads up and say, hey, obviously you haven't been performing. We all notice this, but we're not removing you, but you need to get your shit together. And so we were going to do that, and that was on last Sunday that we talked about that. That was right after the Train match. We talked about it. And so Monday comes around, And we go, all right, so we're going to scrim train 3 times tonight. We're going to have a little 30-minute refresher, just dry running some stuff, making sure everybody's on the same page. And then we're scrimming it 3 times tonight. RTB, we're going to try to get you comfortable. We're trying to work on this. We're also going to switch up some spots, right? RTB on CT side normally played Z. And he just wasn't doing much from there. So I said, you know what, we're going to put you solo B with op. You're going to play back, right? You're just trying to play retake. You're trying to maintain B control. If you want to go for aggressive peaks, go for it, right? But just communicate it so we can bring a second guy over. Because if you think about train B site, if they go B, it's probably going to be 3 to 4 to 5 people going B, right? It's not just 1 to 2 people lurking out like it might be on A site Mirage, right? If they're going B train, there's going to be a decent amount of people there, and ops can't multi-frag in those close quarter situations, right? So bring a person over, and let them help you, let them support you, right? So we're in our first match. We already dry runned. I talked about all that when we were dry running. We get into our first scrim, and we get, I don't know, like 7-8 rounds in, and he's not performing the best. It's whatever, right? I was focused on my own gameplay. I'm not focused on him during the match. And it was our CT side. And so I noticed that there was one round where he died fairly quickly, and I looked at the radar, and he had gone upper alone and died without getting a kill, and he wasn't tradable. He didn't communicate, hey, I'm going for the peak this time, like I'm going for the aggro pick. Somebody come with me. He didn't say anything. So after the round, I go, RTB, I told you before this, I need you to communicate that so he can send somebody with you, because, look, you went there, you did it all by yourself, and you just died, right? You didn't have anybody to trade you out. There was no support. I said, I told you before this twice that you need to do that. And so he didn't say anything. And then we get 20 seconds into the next round. He dies fairly quickly. It was a save. It wasn't anything bad. And it says that he lost connection to the server, and he left Discord. So it's like, okay, maybe he lagged out. Maybe his computer shut off or something. And then we go and refresh the team page, and he's no longer on it. If you look at the roster history, he left the roster at 9 p.m., halfway through a scrim, immediately put out a looking for team ad, which, you know what? I've had people leave the team before. I've left teams before midway through the season. One, I've never seen it happen halfway through a scrim, not even halfway through a scrim. It was under halfway through a scrim. 2, I've never seen a looking for team ad go out so quickly. And 3, I've never not been disappointed by somebody leaving the team. If there was a person to leave, statistically speaking, RTB was one of the better options. Now, that is a dick statement, but I mean, come on, you if you want to be that star role, you want to take on that star role, right? You have to do better than that. So it did suck because it happened halfway through the week. Or not even halfway through the week, right? It was Monday, the 17th. We had a match the 20th. And so we just canceled prac for the rest of Monday. I went and sent out some feeler messages to people. Got some people Tuesday night. We tried out 4 to 5 people Tuesday night. And then Wednesday, we narrowed it down to 2. And then we ended up picking up blessA. blessA, who was on a main team that was not doing too hot. They're currently 0-5, and he was on the team for all those 5 losses. He had, although there was 5 losses, he was averaging 102 ADR in all 5 games. And we were watching some of his gameplay. It seemed good. We gave him the tryout. He meshed well personality-wise with the team. There was no reason not to pick him up. So then we got to, so we picked him up on Wednesday night with the game on Nuke on Thursday. I was tweeting about it. I said, what a great map to try a new starting 5 for. And so obviously we couldn't put a lot of time into Nuke. We did scrim it a couple times, but it just didn't work out for us, right? And so, I mean, he did show up. He got 80 ADR, but it just, nobody was really comfortable with this. It was a 5-16 loss. We did go up 4-1 right at the start, and then from there on out, we only got one more round, which is fairly disappointing. So we had a crossroads, or we came to a crossroads, right? We could either continue working on Nuke and just say, hey, it was because we had a night of practice, basically. Let's just try to grind this out and improve it. Or we can say, hey, fuck it, screw Nuke. We're going to do something else. We're moving on to another map. And obviously, we did the second one. We ended up picking up Overpass as our fourth map. And the reason for that, now I don't like changing maps halfway through the season. I'm not about it. I think we pick the pool, we stick to it. But with that said, grinding out Nuke and trying to learn Nuke, it won't keep the player motivation high, right? Learning Nuke or trying to, get the rotates down and all that, it's not that fun, right? There's not a lot of baseline knowledge. Nobody really pugs it all that much. It's something that you only play in League. And although everybody on the team has played it in League a decent amount, it's just not it. So we picked up Overpass on the one condition that I was not going to call. I do not like calling on Overpass. I like focusing on my own gameplay instead on Overpass. So Gage said, hey, I can call. So we're going with Gage as calling, which is perfectly fine. We did scrim it once. It went well, especially for our first time scrimming it. I believe, let me pull it up real quick. We did, let's see. We scrimmed it. We won 16-14 against a 3-3 main team the first time we played it. And we all kind of played well, right? We all did fairly decent, which was very exciting, very exciting. And, like I was saying, the reason why we switched to it is because there's more motivation to learn Overpass than there is Nuke. And since we're basically starting from scratch on both maps, it's not that big of a deal. It's still frowned upon to switch maps halfway through the season. But because of all this, we had the player drop. We had to run tryouts. We had to play a map that we're all not really comfortable with. We had a little bit of a rough week last week, but with all that being said, we have Vertigo later tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard, and we're pretty prepared for this. We've scrimmed Vertigo 4 times in the last 2 days. I've played pretty fucking well, to be honest with you. The last scrim we played, my stats were a bit inflated because they kept eco-rushing where I was. But every other time, I was having some impact. So I've set myself up perfectly to underperform in the League match tonight. But no, I'm pretty excited. So that's the League stuff. Let's get into what I'm doing. Just to be a little narcissistic for just a smidge. So tomorrow I'm driving 3 hours back home, bringing my computer, bringing the rabbit, bringing clothes, and I'm going to set up camp at home for a decent amount of time until I have to come back and pack up all the furniture in here and then bring that home. So I don't know what the setup's going to look like. I don't know if I'll be able to have my studio lights going on, the camera setup, so we'll see. I'm going to be fairly often as well, so I'm going to be putting out some content. Right now has just been a transition period. I just graduated college. I'm applying to jobs, doing interviews, doing League, doing tryouts, trying to learn maps, right? So I haven't really had time to just sit down and ramble off some videos. Obviously, I had time to do this one. But no, normalcy should return soon. And then after that, it's going to be better than ever because I'm constructing some stuff at my house, setting up rooms, making rooms, setting up a studio area, office space, basically. So it should be good. Also, biggest thing that I'm most excited for is that the upload speed at my house is not dog shit. upload speed in my apartment right now is pretty dog shit. I get like 600 megabytes down, 3.5 megabytes up. So my stream quality is horrible when I stream here. But when I go back home, I think the upload speed is better. I haven't confirmed it, but I'm like 99% sure if I recall it is better. So streaming at home should not be an issue. And you guys should get that nice HD quality back. So that's all I have. I'm gonna render this. I just looked at my hand to my wrist to look at a watch. I'm gonna render out this video, upload it, get it published, and then probably go live with demo reviews. So when you see me again, or when you see this video, probably be live in the next like 20 minutes doing a demo review. So thank you all for watching. Hope you have a good day, and I will see you all next time.